What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. If you're new to the channel, my name is AkeemHaynes. I'm a two-time Olympian, Olympic bronze medalist, author, motivational speaker, and sports commentator. On my channel, we talk boxing, MMA, track and field, and of course, motivation and encouraging content. If this is something that you enjoy, then I hope that you subscribe to the channel. Now, let's get into the video. Amanda Serrano versus Erika Cruz, the main event happening in MSG Theater. This should be a good one. Amanda Serrano often brings a lot of action to the fight. As we know, this is for all the belts. Amanda's 3 belts and Cruz's 1 belt. Let's get into it. Let's start with Amanda Serrano. 43 wins, 2 losses, 30 wins by way of knockout. That is a lot of knockouts. I think she might be second in that category behind the coal miner's daughter, Christy Martin. Correct me if I'm wrong, but it's good to see her on these stages, headlining these big events. We know she's a great fighter, but it's always good when the fighters get the attention, paid their worth, and the recognition. And I got to credit Jake Paul for that as well, too, for how he's helped her in that regard. But look, last year, Amanda Serrano versus Katie Taylor gave us arguably the best women's boxing matchup that we've seen. But you know what? Let's do this, right? Give me some of your favorite women's boxing fights of all time in the comments section below. But I think this fight could arguably be the best fight that we've seen. If not number one, it's definitely up there, but let me know your thoughts. Now, one thing about Amanda Serrano is she is going to let the hands go. And when she finds her groove, the hands are going to continue to keep coming. She's relentless, right? Mix that with the power and that aggression. You know, if you let Amanda Serrano get comfortable and she doesn't respect you, I feel bad for her opponent because it's going to be a long night for whoever it is that she's facing. I remember when she fought Eva Von Berger, that fight ended in 40 seconds, right? She made up in her mind in that fight that I'm coming out of the gates and I'm coming out swinging, I'm coming out running, and I will not slow down at any point until the fight is over. And that's exactly what it was like in that fight. The power was too much. That's what she can do. She can fluster you and frustrate you in such a way that it completely takes you out of your game plan. When she fought Miriam Gutierrez, it was the same similar thing. Serrano came out swinging heavy shots out of the gate in the first round. Gutierrez isn't a bad fighter by no means, right? She has 2 losses, and the other loss came from when she fought Katie Taylor. But I felt like when she fought Amanda Serrano, even though the fight did go the distance, she took more punishment against Serrano. Again, this is what she can do. If she makes up in her mind to be aggressive early, as she often tends to be, right, it could be either a long night for her opponent or a short night. Katie Taylor has very good footwork, and she couldn't even hold off for Serrano for very long, right? That fight could have went either way. Nonetheless, she can change the pressure of a fight at any given moment. In her last fight against Sarah Mahfoud, right, in my breakdown of that fight, I said this shouldn't be too tough of a fight for Serrano. But at the same time, after the magnitude and everything that came with that Katie Taylor fight, I figured that she might fight down to her opponent, right? Like that excitement might not be there as it was for that fight against Katie Taylor. And I personally thought that was the case in her last fight, right? She did what she needed to do to win the fight. It was a very comfortable win, right? It was a good controlling fight. She had her way from the start. I don't think she overexerted herself by no means. I thought it was a good win considering the fight that she just came off of. She looked good, didn't look great, but she got the job done. However, I thought she was a little lazy with her defense in spurts. She got hit with some shots that she could have evaded, but again, nonetheless, it was a good win to get back on the right track and build back that positive momentum after such a performance against Katie Taylor. There's been a lot of talk about the rematch with Katie Taylor this year, so she'll be looking to continue that forward momentum, pick up some belts here before moving back up and just get that sharpness early and make sure she's ready for that rematch. But let's talk about her opponent, Erika Cruz. 15 wins, 1 loss that came early in her career, 3 wins by way of knockout. Her first 13 fights were all in Mexico in different venues. Her first fight out of the country was in 2021 in New York, where she fought my fellow countrywoman, Jelena Vrjanovic, to win the WBA featherweight title. That fight ended in a head clash, right? went to the cards. Cruz got the nod. Later in that year, she defended her title back in Mexico against Melissa Esquivel, where she won by split decision. And last year, she fought Majanovic again in the rematch, defended her title in Mexico. So while she's only fought once outside of the country, when she did, she won. And when she did win, it was in New York. So New York has been treating her well in the moment so far. It's been good to her as of now. Cruz, man, is coming to fight, right? If you've seen any of her fights, she likes to come on the inside, come forward, and let the hands go. Heavy hooks, looping hooks, overhand hooks. Her punches come from all over in different flurries. Whether she's hitting the head or they're coming to the body, she mixes up her attacks very well. Even when she gets pressured, right, and she's on her back foot, she's still throwing heavy, wide, looping shots. She isn't someone you can overlook or get lazy against, because you never know what shot is coming and what combinations or shots would be followed with. You know, I think her defense is her offense. Sometimes you see her moving her head, but for the most part, it's kind of stagnant and on the line, right? The other thing that she's been consistent with is she tends to duck her head before coming over with one of her shots, right? And that can be dangerous, because as you're ducking down, that's a good opportunity for your opponent to counter you, especially if they see it in round 1, in round 2, in round 3. At some point, they're going to make that adjustment and land the shot that could be the one that takes you out. So who wins? Right? Styles makes fights. This is the style, in my opinion, that favors Amanda Serrano. Cruz is going to be in front of her, and she's going to be there to get hit and get hit often. I'm taking Amanda Serrano to win this one by decision, because Cruz is tough, right? She's durable. I do think Amanda can get the stoppage, but I think Cruz's unconventional style is going to make it a little bit tricky. Maybe if it was 3 minutes round, probably get the stoppage, but with 2 minutes, it makes it a little bit tougher. So I'm going to lean towards Amanda Serrano winning this one comfortably by decision. What are your thoughts on this fight? Who do you have winning this one? Let me know in the comment section below. If you would like to support the channel, there's a couple ways that you can do so. You can like, comment, share, and subscribe to the channel. If you would like to support by way of donation, you can find options in the description below. Also, my Cash App handle will be on screen as well. Any amount goes towards the growth of this channel and will be greatly, greatly appreciated. So with all that being said, if you've been watching the video this long, do me a favor and subscribe to the channel, and we'll definitely see you next time.